Hey, hey, boss. Hey, how are you today? Okay, I got a question for you. When it comes to building your business and getting more business into your business, do you need to work on your visibility? If you need to work on your visibility, drop one into the comment box for me because that is our conversation for today. But before we get there, let me start here and say, hey, welcome, welcome. It's your girl, LaShonda Henry, aka Sister Sense. Always excited to jump on here and share some smart things you can do to work on your money, your marketing, and your sales goals too, with strategy and intention. So, I got some good for you today. So do a couple of things for me. Number one, remember, drop a one into the comment box so that I can see you are excited about having conversations around building your business brand visibility. Okay, number one. Number two, if you're new to me, welcome, welcome. Feel free to let me know who you are and where you are in this beautiful world today. And number three, always remember to drop into the comment box hashtag replays rock if you're catching me on the replay side. Now, we are going to rock and roll, and I'm going to share with you guys really a quick checklist. Today is Wednesday. Don't know when it is and where you are, but for me, today is Wednesday. And on Wednesdays, I have clarity calls with clients trying to get clear about their next best business step when it comes to monetization, marketing, and sales. Okay. By the way, if you ever say, LaShonda, I would love to get on a clarity call with you, feel free to go over to callme.sistersense.com. Okay. So that's where you can go if you want to schedule a session, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 3 hours or more. So we can explore those big small business questions that you have and some recommendations that I can give you to help point you in the right direction. Now, again, with that being said, let's dig into this quick checklist, okay? This is actually inspired by one of the lovely ladies in my circle. And she said to me, you know what, LaShonda, for real, I am thinking about throwing in the towel because there's just so much that, I want to do. And people tell me they're excited about what I'm doing, but then I'm not seeing the kind of conversion that I want. I'm not seeing the kind of sales that I want. I'm not seeing the kind of visibility that I want. What am I missing? What can I do? So, based on the conversation that I had with her, I've created this list so I can share some recommendations with you. I always say, at the end of the day, I know that it can be frustrating, but I want you to be in a space where you can geek up on the possibilities of what you can do next, right? So the first thing on this list here is what is most effective for you. I'm going to actually start off with those of you who actually are in business, you have customers, you've got clients, you're constantly or currently marketing, I should say. What is actually working for you? In her case, there are particular things that she is doing, particular organizations that she works with. And based on those efforts, she said, you know what, LaShonda, I work with this organization and I do this particular event every year. And it works really well for me. And I sell out of everything. Okay. And I'm like, good. Well, what does that mean to me? That means that beyond some of the things that you're trying to do now, I really want you to dig into what's been working for you, right? So, how can we make that connection stronger, right? What it is that you're doing for them, the events that you're hosting or leading for them. If you're doing it once a year, how can we make that something that you do twice a year, 4 times a year, more often, right? That's something that I want you to dig into. I want you to think about for yourself when it comes to your marketing efforts, when it comes to you getting in front of more people, when it comes to you being visible, are there certain things that are currently working for you right now? Sometimes you guys feel like you should be doing something completely different. You should totally switch up. Or sometimes we fixate on what we want so much that in an effort to try to get that thing that we want to work, we dismiss, overlook, and stop doing things that actually they work. They work for us. We just, I don't want to do it that way. I don't want to do it this way. I want to get this thing to work for me. I know that because I've done that. Okay. So number one, what's the most effective thing that's working for you? Can you double, triple, 10x down on that? Number one. Number two, how are you building your list on a daily basis? Now, as entrepreneurs, I'm going to be honest with you. We all should be getting in at least 2 to 3, 3 to 5, somewhere in the 5 to 10 range, new subscribers on a daily basis, right? Do you fall into any of those pockets? Now, hopefully you don't fall into the girl, I ain't getting no subscribers on the zero pocket, right? Are you getting at least 2 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 10 on the minimum on a daily basis? Why is this important? Because you know that launch with leads training that I did a 7-day challenge. It's free. It's called Launch with Leads over at sizzlesense.com/LWL. Okay. Why did I do this challenge? Because the reality is, if your visibility isn't quite what you want it to be, you can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. Remember that whole idea of insanity? You are launching consistently to the same 3 people, selling to the same 3 people, and you expecting different results. When you are not selling a particular product or selling yourself, you should be selling your list. Meaning that you should be selling why people should be staying connected with you, signing up to your list, following you, getting, taking advantage of everything that you do, right? Which means that if you're not proactively advertising or positioning yourself, that you are consistently sharing some reason why some people should be on your list, you're going to struggle. Why? Because as I like to say, you launch into crickets and not actual customers, right? So number 2 is, how are you building your list on a daily basis? Do you have to manually do something every day? Not necessarily, but whether it be, paid advertising or, some automated funnel, you got to have something working for you to consistently grow your list. So when you are ready to promote products, you're not just promoting to the same people. Okay. That's important. You need growth. Number 3 on this list is, where are you advertising? I'm an organic marketer, so I don't do a lot of paid advertising, but I do consistently advertise and promote myself, right? Are you doing Facebook? Are you doing Instagram? Are you doing YouTube? Are you doing Pinterest? Are you working with key influencers on platforms like Instagram? What are you doing to advertise yourself? Because at the end of the day, I always say this, okay? You starting out, you making coins, you make a little something every now and then, right? You looking at multi-million dollar, multi-billion dollar companies, and they're putting tons of money into advertising. So if they're doing that, and not just paying for advertising, but strategically doing all of these partnerships and events and all this stuff to work on their visibility. If these companies with millions of followers are doing this, why aren't you doing it on some level? Right? Again, I'm an organic marketer, but doesn't mean that I don't put some money into advertising and to growing my visibility, because we just all have to. This quick checklist is honestly a reality check for those of you who go, my circle, it hasn't grown, it's stagnant, it's super small, it's not converting, it's not working. Well, what are you working on with respect to saying, oh yeah, LaShonda, I'm genuinely pushing and building my visibility in these areas? Okay. So, what are you doing? Where are you advertising? Do you have any, number 4, brand affiliation? So, it's trending, the whole honeypot conversation, in that video with Target and Sister Girl getting all of these, racial slurs and them wanting to boycott her. And then it turned into a big thing. And we're like, we're supporting you, sis. We got you. Her sales have doubled, if not tripled, over the last few days. I know that her product, Honey Pot, which by the way, I bought yesterday because it's trending and I wanted to support my girl. So I bought some Honey Pot yesterday, right? I know she's affiliated with Target because the commercial was from Target. So that's where I went. Funny enough, I saw an interview with her on Essence, and she's like, we're actually in CVS and Walmart, and we're in these other platforms. But that immediate brand affiliation of I know that she's working with Target, that's where I went. You don't have to be connected to Target, but what other companies or organizations are you affiliated with? Are you not just affiliated with them because of one thing that you did in the past, but are you finding new ways to connect with them in the future? If I go on your platform, can I see an as seen on ... I've been on, featured on PBS. I've worked with Essence. I've worked with Ebony. I've worked with Black Enterprise. I've been in the New York Times a couple of times. You know, Huffington Post. Can I see that brand affiliation to be like, oh, okay, I see you, right? I see what you're doing. Right? Do you have any brand affiliations working for you, and not just the as seen on, which is important? And I actually had a conversation with a client a few weeks ago, and she was like, "No, I really don't." She wants to be in a space where she can get certain types of um, business opportunities, but she doesn't have like a resume showcasing her previous expertise in brand affiliations. This is important, right? And then going back to those organizations and working with them. So I have Back to Business every year, and I have my speakers, and they'll put the Sister Sense logo on their website because they're affiliated with Sister Sense, right? How are you doing that? How are you working that to your benefit, right? So I'm going to be speaking at Epic, which brings me to number 5 on this list is, what does your calendar look like? Okay, because you can't just be sitting there twiddling your thumbs or doing the virtual thing, and not really expanding enough, right? So where are you going locally? Where are you going state by state or internationally? Are you creating your own events? Are you going to other people's events? I'm super excited to be going to Vegas and being able to speak as part of the Epic conference. If you're curious about Epic, you can go over to sistersense.com/epic to learn more about the conference happening at the end of April, between the end of April and the beginning of May. Okay. I'm going to be speaking, I believe, on May 2nd. I'm excited about this because outside of the brand business events that I create for myself, I have my own workshops. I did a pop-up in New York. I'm doing another one in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. I'm working on one international one. Hopefully you'll see me in the UK this year. We'll see. But the reality of the situation is you've got to be where your customers are. You got to be in front of them. Are you working with organizations? Are you working with individuals who they're targeting your tribe? They've created something for your tribe, and you need to get there so you can be in front of these people. What does your calendar look like? Right? And to be honest with you, the virtual calendar too, I'm doing lives every single day. I did a mastermind group, a session with my group last night. I got another mastermind in 2 weeks. What does your virtual schedule look like? You know, people who look to build their list, they're doing webinars every week or twice a month. Are you doing that? Right? You know, are you promoting? I've got a webinar coming up this weekend, and or advertising that. What are you doing to work on your visibility? What are you doing to build your list? What does your calendar look like? Number 6 is content marketing. What is your content marketing strategy? As I mentioned to you before, I'm developing a lot of content, right? I've got free downloadables. I've got my Brand Like a Boss starter kit that's free, right? Over at, what is it? sistersense.com/BT kit, you know, for the brand toolkit. I've got I just said to you guys, I have the Launch with Leads. It's a free 7-day challenge over at sistersense.com/LWL. I'm coming up with new kits, new challenges, new templates, new webinars, new daily sessions. I'm constantly working on content so that I can engage my existing audience and grow my audience too. What are you doing in that arena? Email marketing, right? You probably just tired of me. You probably all types of tired of me. If you on my list, I'm sure you've gotten something from me this week. And not even just one thing, probably multiple things. Are you consistently communicating with your audience? That visibility with your existing audience is important too, because sometimes they like those things, they take advantage of those things, and they share out that content too. What are you doing? This is your 7-part visibility checklist. Okay. Email me, sistersense@gmail.com, if you've got questions about what I talked about here. But let's do a quick recap. Okay. So, quick recap. of this conversation today, the quick brand and business visibility checklist. Now, just out of curiosity, because like I always say, I am on multiple platforms. So I don't get to see what you guys are saying across all of these platforms. So I'm just gonna pop on Facebook just to kind of check in with you guys over there. But number one, if you need to work on your visibility, drop a one into the comment box for me. I see Salida is here. Welcome, my dear. She's got that one already in there. Awesome. So that's number one. If you need to work on your visibility, that was the first thing that I said today. Number two, if you'd like to talk to me privately about some things that you can do, so how you apply some of these strategies to your unique situation, you can always go over to callme.sistasense.com to schedule a clarity session with me. Okay, number two. Number three was me actually going through this 7-part checklist with you, and we're just going to run down that quick recap rundown. When it comes to your visibility, number one, have you identified the most effective strategies that work really well for you? And are you doing those things on a regular basis? Number one. Number two, are you proactively building your list to be able to say that you're getting in anywhere? Like, check, these are the smallest possible buckets, okay? That you are, number one, getting maybe 2 to 3 followers a day on average, maybe 3 to 5 followers a day on average, or even 5 to 10 email new subscribers on your list. Subscribers every day. Are you proactively building your list daily? That was number two. Number three, where are you advertising? Online, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, working with key influencers, working with micro bloggers, working with individuals who have communities and they're like, hey, for $50, $100, $200, you can promote on my email list or share something on my website or on my social media profiles. Who are you working with? Where are you advertising? Number three. Number four, brand affiliations. Who are you connected with? Visible influencers, micro influencers like myself, big brands like Target. What are your brand affiliations? Next, I said, what does your calendar look like? Okay. You can't just kind of sit there and then hope and pray that people find you. What are you doing locally or virtually? Webinars or speaking engagements, workshops, working with individuals, organizations, churches. What are you doing to make sure that your calendar is full of opportunities for you to get in front of more people? What's your content marketing strategy? Are you creating content that you can use to promote yourself, your brand, your products, your services? Are you doing that on a consistent basis? I try to do at least, a free lead magnet or a webinar training or drop some freebie good on you. Got something, right? Maybe a Facebook ad here or there. What are you doing to create content that you share, right? And, do advertising in relation to that. And again, for the most part, I don't do paid advertising, but every now and again, I'm going to boost a post, right? Every now and again, I'm going to put some money behind a freebie lead magnet. What does your email marketing strategy look like? Are you consistently, checking in with the audience, letting them know you've got a great promotion this week, letting them know you got a workshop or an event happening, and your email list is growing and you're communicating with your existing circle to help you bring in new people too. Because I'm going to be honest with you, one of the best, most effective ways for me to get more people is through my current people. They get my content all the time and they share me out with their people who come into me, right? By the way, if you're enjoying this session for today, can you share it out? Can you tag somebody here, or can you share it out, whatever particular platform you're watching on now? And of course, I always like to say, turn on alerts and notifications, ring the bell, hit subscribe so you can see when I've got new content, and I'm here live so you can jump on here live with me, right? I proactively say that helps with visibility, and I also proactively ask a simple question. Write this down. This question is so freaking awesome. It's ridiculous. Where did you find me? I periodically pop that on my social media feeds. I periodically ask directly when I have a new client conversation, say, hey, oh my God, I love you. Out of curiosity, how did you find me? And they'll say, oh, so-and-so told me about you. Or, oh my gosh, I watched this video on YouTube, or I found you on Facebook. You want to know where your people are coming from so you can do more of that to get more of those people. Again, remember, number one on this list, what's the most effective strategy for you? What are those strategies that are working for you with respect to visibility and conversions too? Okay, so that's the short list that I wanted to share with you. Again, if you're working on your list building efforts, feel free to go over to sizzlesense.com/LWL. It's fabulous. It's free. The Launch with Leads Challenge. Number two, if you want to check in with me, you can always go over to callme.sizzlesense.com to schedule a clarity call with your girl. And number three, when it comes to creating a better sense of visibility, I'm going to be honest with you. While I don't do a lot of paid advertising, like I mentioned before, I do it periodically. Content marketing is the thing for me, like consistently creating content for my audience based on really specific topics, right? So I do also have what is happening right now, which is the Easy Ebook Challenge, which you can learn more about over at sizzlesense.com/EEC. That's your opportunity for me to share some strategies and even templates that you can use to create more content like ebooks and journals or workbooks, so that you're putting more out there that people want for themselves and more out there that people want to share. Okay. So feel free to let me know if any of these recommendations have been helpful to you. Feel free to let me know if you've gone through this checklist today and you've gotten a light bulb and you're like, oh, okay, that's something that I can think about and do more of. Because again, at the end of the day, I don't want you to spin your wheels, keep doing the same thing over and over. And I don't want you to feel like you don't have any options. There are things that you know you need to do, you just are not doing them as much as you should. And hopefully this is helpful. Okay. So that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow with a little bit more. Again, let me know if any of this has been helpful for you today, and let me know if you've got any suggestions as far as topics like visibility, monetization, marketing, sales, specific questions that you would like me to cover here. All righty, my dearest, till tomorrow, take care. Mwah.